Let's kick a little something for them cars that be bumped.
It isn't nothing like that. It isn't nothing like that good soul music. Now use it and let Jay prove it. Just lose it. With everything you do, just know she got your back, yo. And she'll even make you laugh show after show. She got the vibes that'll make you ride top down. And if you got a couple pounds, she'll be around. Justified madness.
They see you and see a thug, yeah, yeah. I see you and see my love, yeah, yeah. You're all up there running scared, yeah, yeah. With me, I'm running to you in my fears, yeah, yeah. Ain't found no one that can measure up to you. This feeling I feel I've only felt with you. Yeah, yeah. You got these figures so intimidated. With just a hit, it ain't no hesitating. I see things in you I can't see in nobody. It breaks my heart that you can't be beside me. Fighting you this mad in my feelings. Hearing your baritone on the phone, I get overwhelmed. Boy, you know we locked in, my heart locked down. Swear I ain't found nobody else to fit in your crown. Your crown. I've been looking all my life for a real one like you. I know I will never find another real one like you. Oh, you glisten, you just shine like nobody else do.
What's up, what's happening? It's your girl, SHINee. It's Saturday, July 8th, 2023, and welcome to the Spoken Word Saturday edition of Justified Madness. That was new music from Monica. It's called Letters. I had a chance to check out that video a couple days ago, and I'm definitely feeling the song and the video. Monica has been one of my favorite female artists since her debut album back in the 90s. I've been rocking with her since Don't Take It Personal. Yes, yes, yes. And this is Spoken Word Saturday, so I definitely have some spoken word poetry to go with that good music. This next spoken word piece is by an artist named Elizabeth Acevedo. Elizabeth isn't just a spoken word poet. She's a best-selling National Book Award-winning author. Her newest book is her first novel for adults. It's called Family Lore, and it's the story of one Dominican-American family told through the voices of its women as they await a gathering that will forever change their lives. Get to know Elizabeth Acevedo at her website, AcevedoWrites.com. That's ACEVEDO Writes, WRITES.com. This is her spoken word poem called Bittersweet Love Poem, and it's coming to you courtesy of All Deaf Poetry on YouTube. You're rocking with your girl, SHINee, and this is the Spoken Word Saturday edition of Justified Madness.
You said if we break up, you hope I don't write a bitter love poem about you. But I promise I will. Because poetry is a woman with a well-developed palate for sour things, and I always indulge her appetite. But for now, here's a poem to sharpen your sweet tooth, a reminder of the things I've learned. That on the worst days, when it seems like we were some God's bad joke, mismatched socks that somehow got rolled up together, on those days I like to think about how we first met, playing a pickup game of basketball I didn't know then was your pickup game. How you courted me one pass at a time. Your hands made me a teammate. Taught me that love is about taking turns being the highest scorer and the biggest fan, both the superstar and the bench player. I've learned that no man or ring make an honest woman out of me because I've already been the truth. Loving you has been a choice to live nakedly, to show you all of my sides. I lay my armor at your feet because we've already fought enough when the world said we were too young, too different, moving too fast, not moving fast enough. I learned that being my own woman meant listening to no church bells because I've already acquired all the choir I need. You see, I had walls around my heart, but you came and kissed a roof on, turned those bricks into your home. I thought I'd given the best of me like a folded fortune, only to be discarded, or rather disregarded, left in the back pocket and torn apart in the wash of some boy who claimed to love me. I thought the best of me had long since shipped, but it only been stamped returned to sender. And haven't you been the most diligent postman? I've learned that taking an interest in your partner's passion is a sign of growth. So thank you for the Broncos and Baldwin, for Memphis and Paris, for interest rates and mortgage rates and good credit. Poets are fucking bad with numbers, so like this is real right here. And good credit for teaching me I don't always need to take the credit. There's so much I didn't know. But most importantly, I've learned love is a long-limbed thing. And in this world, it has difficulty breathing. And all partners do or holds hands and every day practice CPR. And if this love dies before we do, there is no shame in having been committed to its birth. There is no shame in being dedicated to its survival. There is no shame in how it showed us our most monstrous bottom of the barrel soul or the living pantheon inside both of us. Maybe one day I'll have reason to write a bit of love poem. Maybe instead I'll remember that when you love with your whole self, you lose nothing in the process. And isn't that the sweetest truth?
Yo, what's new with the movies this week? What's new in music, yo?
Your girl J1E, that's about to tell you.
What's new in music and movies this week? New singles dropping this week include Baby Gravy, You Need Jesus, Bianca James, Black and Blue, Bonnie McKee with Slay, Charlie XCX, Speed Drive, Fall Out Boy with We Didn't Start the Fire, Camille featuring Tamara and Bella with Options, Kylie Minogue, Padam Padam, Jax Jones remix, N-Dubs, The Ick, Nothing But Thieves, Tomorrow Is Closed, Olivia Dean and Messy, Olivia Rodrigo and Vampire, Paige with Dance With You, Rita Ora, Don't Think Twice, and Storm Z, Longevity Flow. New albums dropping this week include Alex G, Live from Union Transfer, Frank Zappa, Funky Nothingness, Lil Uzi Vert with Pink Tape, Lucinda Williams, Stories from a Rock and Roll Heart, Olivia Dean with Messy, RJ Thompson, Live at Abbey Road, and The Weeknd, The Idol Volume 1, songs from the HBO Max original series. For the full list of new music, check out officialcharts.com and click on new releases. New at the movies this week, Joyride. When Audrey's business trip to Asia goes sideways, she enlists the aid of Lolo, her irrelevant childhood best friend, who also happens to be a hot mess. Kat, her college friend, turned Chinese soap star, and Deadeye, Lolo's eccentric cousin. Their no-holds-barred epic experience becomes a journey of bonding, friendship, belonging, and wild debauchery that reveals the universal truth of what it means to know and love who you are. Joyride stars Stephanie Sue, David Denman, Ashley Park, and Annie Momolo, and it's rated R. Now, if you'd rather binge watch from your sofa, no worries. Get Peacock and stream live sports, exclusive originals, hit shows, and blockbuster movies. That's right, you get sports, movies, news, TV shows, originals, kids content, and more. Choose the free platform or get more premium content with plans starting at just $4.99 a month. Peacock, you can't not watch. That's the wrap up for this week. Now let's get back to the show. You're tuned into Justified Madness, and I'm your girl, J1E Vet.
Pink Diamond on the mic. Gemstone, let's go. Another level. bet y'all didn't know we could do it like this, huh? We gon' turn this thing up, get your ass in gear, cause we go hard or go home, how we do this here. All my fellas looking right like they from GQ. All my ladies looking sexy with their pockets fat too. I'ma pull up looking fly in my Escalade. It's Friday night and we gon' party cause we just got paid. Ain't gotta fake it till we make it cause our time is here. And let me see you wave your hands in the atmosphere. Then let's go.
Keep your head up, right with me, let's go. Keep your ears up, listen to me, let go. Keep your head up, right with me, let's go. Keep your ears up, listen to me, let go.
From the left coast to the DMV, everybody turn it up and just vibe with me. What's good, y'all? This is Pynk Dymund, and you're listening to Justified Madness. Call up your homies and tell them to tune in too.
Poem about my rights. Even tonight, and I need to take a walk and clear my head about this poem about why I can't go out without changing my clothes, my shoes, my body posture, my gender identity, my age, my status as a woman alone in the evening, alone on the streets, alone not being the point being that I can't do what I want to do with my own body, because I am the wrong sex, the wrong age, the wrong skin. And suppose it was not here in the city, but down on the beach, or far into the woods, and I wanted to go there by myself, thinking about God, or thinking about children, or thinking about the world, all of it disclosed by the stars and the silence. I could not go, and I could not think, and I could not stay there alone as I need to be alone, because I can't do what I want to do with my own body. And who in the hell set things up like this? And in France they say, if the guy penetrates but does not ejaculate, then he did not rape me. And if after stabbing him, if after screams, if after begging the bastard, and if even after smashing a hammer to his head, if even after that, if he and his buddies fuck me after that, then I consented and there was no rape, because finally you understand. Finally they fucked me over because I was wrong. I was wrong again to be me being me where I was. Wrong to be who I am, which is exactly like South Africa, penetrating into Namibia, penetrating into Angola. And does that mean, how do you know if Pretoria ejaculates? What will the evidence look like? The proof of the monster jackboot ejaculation on black land? And if after Namibia, and if after Angola, and if after Zimbabwe, and if after all of my kinsmen and women resist, even to self-immolation of the villages, and if after that we lose nevertheless, what will the big boys say? Will they claim my consent? Do you follow me? We are the wrong people of the wrong skin on the wrong continent, and what in the hell is everybody being reasonable about? And according to the Times this week, the CIA decided that they had this problem, and the problem was a man named Nkrumah, so they killed him. And before that, it was Patrice Lumumba. And before that, it was my father on the campus of my Ivy League school, and my father afraid to walk into the cafeteria because he said he was wrong. The wrong age, the wrong skin, the wrong gender identity, and he was paying my tuition. And before that, it was my father saying I was wrong, saying that I should have been a boy because he wanted one, a boy, and that I should have been lighter skinned, and that I should have had straighter hair, and that I should not be so boy crazy, but instead I should just be one, a boy. And before that, it was my mother pleading plastic surgery for my nose and braces for my teeth, and telling me to let the books loose, to let them loose. In other words, I am very familiar with the problems of the CIA, and the problems of South Africa, and the problems of Exxon Corporation, and the problems of white America in general, and the problems of the teachers and the preachers and the FBI and the social workers and my particular mom and dad. I am very familiar with the problems because the problems turn out to be me. I am the history of rape. I am the history of the rejection of who I am. I am the history of the terrorized incarceration of myself. I am the history of battery, assault, and limitless armies against whatever I want to do with my mind and my body and my soul. And whether it's about walking out at night, or whether it's about the love that I feel, or whether it's about the sanctity of my vagina, or the sanctity of my national boundaries, or the sanctity of my leaders, or the sanctity of each and every desire that I know from my personal and idiosyncratic and indisputably single and singular heart, I have been raped because I have been wrong. the wrong sex, the wrong age, the wrong skin, the wrong nose, the wrong hair, the wrong need, the wrong dream, the wrong geographic, the wrong sartorial. I have been the meaning of rape. I have been the problem everyone seeks to eliminate by forced penetration with or without the evidence of slime. But let this be unmistakable. This poem is not consent. I do not consent to my mother, to my father, to the teachers, to the FBI, to South Africa, to Bedford-Stuy, to Park Avenue, to American Airlines, to the hard-on idlers on the corners, to the sneaky creeps in cars. I am not wrong. Wrong is not my name. My name is my own. And I can't tell you who the hell set things up like this, but I can tell you that from now on, my resistance, my simple and daily and nightly self-determination may very well cost you your life.
It's the Spoken Word Saturday edition of Justified Madness with your girl, J1 Yvette. That was a spoken word piece by June Jordan. It's called Poem About My Rights. This piece was posted to YouTube back in 2011, but it's so relevant today, especially now that many of our rights are being taken away by the Supreme Court of the United States. But that's a discussion for another show, and believe me, that discussion is coming very soon. Quick programming note, I will be back on the air tomorrow evening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time for Sunday Inspiration at blogtalkradio.com/Sunday Inspiration. That's where I like to kick off the week with that good gospel music to fill up your tank and get you ready to face the week. Now, if you miss any episodes of Justified Madness or want to replay some of your favorite episodes, just clickety-click on over to blogtalkradio.com/Justified Madness or search Justified Madness with J1 Yvette almost everywhere you get your audio podcasts. And don't forget to link up with me on all my social media and stream all my music, preview and purchase my books, and then some. Go to drum.io/justifiedmadness31 to link up to everything. Once again, that's drum.io/justifiedmadness31. And another link I want y'all to remember is my Patreon, where you can join my squad for exclusives you won't get anywhere else, including first listens to my music before it drops, access to upcoming events, and exclusive access to my patron-only Zoom parties, and I do that at the end of each month. And once again, that link is patreon.com/justifiedmadness31. That's patreon.com/justifiedmadness31. Now, before I close out, I want to send shout outs to all my fan bam, whether by blood or by love. I love you to life and I love you for real. Shout outs to all my twamly, all my threadies, I guess I could call you. Yes, I am on thread, y'all, because Twitter is crashing and burning. So I ran my butt on over to Thread. And yes, that's also Justified Madness 31 if you want to follow me there. And I want to send a shout out to my Mad Hatters, Twin, Coco, Lady T, Kiana, Devora, and Team J1 Yvette, which is run by my girls Brenda J, Tracy, and Amina. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Team J1 Yvette. That's team like in football team, JWANYVETTE. And last but never ever least, I want to shout out my daughter Jessie. She's the voice you hear at the top of the hour every Wednesday and Saturday night right here on Justified Madness. Now, coming up next, I've got a spoken word piece by Hannah Fodera. It's called Grief and I, a spoken word. And that's dedicated to anyone who is grieving right now for someone they love. Then on the other side of the commercial, I'm closing out with music from SHINee. The song is called Hard. And that's by request for my girl Boogie in the ATL and also Desi in the DMV. And as always, this show and all that I do is dedicated to the memory of my husband, Ellis. He's forever my Choco, and I'm forever his pancake. Fly high, my king. You're rocking with your girl, J1 Yvette, and this is the Spoken Word Saturday edition of Justified Madness.
Grief and I have an interesting relationship. He's the boy I kissed before it was official, then continued to date in partial indifference. We barely spoke, and he always showed up too late. Like once he knocked on my door after the movie was already over. And another, he texted me when I was on a plane ride home thinking of everything else. He slips into the corners of my mind, gliding like drinking warm coffee from styrofoam cups, only to get stuck in the middle of my throat. He's on the tip of my tongue, and yet I can never fully describe him. I feel guilty when he's gone, and cheated when he moves on to someone else, jealous. His absence makes me question if I ever really cared. Did I care about love, or just the idea of him? Are we together, or am I just scared? Scared that I forced our relationship? Out of obligation, or self-pity, or pride. He came in hospital rooms before it was over, but not in funeral parlors when it actually was. I just wish he was a natural extension of my hands and beating of my heart. But he is not. I don't know what grief is to me. But grief preserves a sweet memory. Beda. And that I think that's enough.
The Weeknd presents the After Hours Till Dawn Global Stadium Tour. The Weeknd, King Baudouin Stadium, Brussels, Tuesday, July 11, 2023, with special guest Kate Renata. Get tickets at livenation.be.
From hip-hop to K-pop, your girl J1 Yvette's got you covered. You're tuned in to Justified Madness.
선명한 너의 그 상처는 빛났어 주먹쥐고 닭을 올려 그래 Astra 아득한 미래도 내 손안에 잡아 Feeling like a rockstar Hey sonus 쏟아지는 갈채 속에 fire We go hard Hard like a criminal Hard like a beat Hard like my flow 너도 원했니 밤이 녹음 새로운 일 멈추지 못해 다시 Hard like a criminal, hard like a beat Hard like my flow, 꿈이 당겼지
Thanks for rocking with your girl. I'm J1 Yvette, and I'll see you again tomorrow evening at 6:30 p.m. for Sunday Inspiration at blogtalkradio.com/Sunday Inspiration.